Hello guys, welcome back to another video and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to show you guys how we do the reverse technique, or the smile line as some other people may call it. I already started off doing one here just for video purposes, but so this is what we are going to be doing. I'm going to teach you how I do the almond on this hand, well, this finger. So you want to take your bead, and when you take your bead, you want your bead to be not too wet and not too dry. Sometimes I take a little bit of the monomer excess on my paper towel, and I am going to place it right where the nail bed ends, the nail plate ends. And I am going to blend towards the cuticle area, just as so. And even though my bead was dry enough, but not too wet, I'm still able to play with it and give it, you know, its form. And this is depending up to you, how you want it. If you want it more with a deeper V, or, you know, almond type, or if you want it more squared, that is totally up to you. So if you use a nice, decent, medium to small bead, or a small to a medium bead, you're gonna give it a good, you know, a nice height to it. So there's no need to go back and add another bead to that area, because it'll have, you know, a perfect height to it. But if your bead wasn't that big, or it wasn't just the right bead, you can always go back and add more acrylic to that part. But yeah, I'm still giving it a shape, the shape that I want. I'm still able to work with it a little bit, and I think that it's fine. So now I'm going to take the second bead, and with the second bead, it's going to be the cuticle bead. So just like the other one, I don't want it to be that wet or that dry. I let it take its consistency on the brush. Sometimes I go and I pat it on my paper towel. Let me bring this finger a little down. I put it right underneath the cuticle, but not touching the cuticle. I bring it up, just as so, just like that, and I start tapping, 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 and I brush down. There's going to be parts where you probably will miss, and that's okay. You can go back with a little bit of cuticle. You can go back with a little bit of product and take that part. See, as right here in the corner, I missed a little bit right there, and that's okay. I'll go back. Or if my product is still wet and I'm still able to play with it, we can do that. There you go. I'll take a little bit for that little piece that I missed. Just like that. Not that much. and I am going to put it right there. Remember, feather strokes, they don't have to be that hard. If you do it really hard, you're just gonna, oh, I put my fingernail on it. You are just going to remove all that product that you're trying to lay in that specific area. I have to go back and put a little bit here because I just poked my nail in it. Look. And I'm going to take this, try to fill in those other areas there. It doesn't have to be as perfect because you're going to go in with your file, your hand file, and you're going to perfect the shape and, you know, give it a nice clean sharp look, so it's okay. I really made a hole there with my nail, but I think it's okay. So now we're gonna let it take its consistency and, you know, harden. And once that, we can go back and I'll show you how I file it. So now we're just gonna move on and do the white tip. So for that, I am using the CND. Okay. It's still a little blurry, but it's the pure white. And this that I used for the almond, this is actually a mix that I mixed up. It is Rosebud and Earth by Young Nails. Okay, so now we're gonna go with the white. And when you do this, I don't think it really matters on how wet, on how dry. Obviously, you don't want it to be that wet because it's just gonna drip all over the place. But basically what I do is I lay it, and then I use the body of my brush like that. And you want to make sure that you lay that color really, really close to that almond. Because when you go and file, that's where you're going to see that sharp line. So it doesn't matter if you put it on top of the almond like I'm doing right now. It doesn't matter if you blend it up like that. It's not gonna stain. It's gonna come right off because that almond is already dried. So you could just take it with your hand file or your e-file, doesn't matter. Whatever preference you have, you could just go with that and file it. Sometimes I use my hand, sometimes I use my e-file, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Take it as far as it goes. This is the reason why I love the CND powder. Especially the white one when I'm doing this type of work, because I just love it. And I'm using the red Iguana hand. I really like this hand too. It's really nice. Just recently got it. So just so, don't be afraid if you get some white on top of that almond. It's perfectly fine. Then you go with your hand file like I said and you buff all that out. a little bump right there, so we're gonna put a little bit more. Right there, so we can blend that in. You don't want it to be, you know, it doesn't have to be that perfect, but make sure you don't lose your shape, because you're gonna go back and you're gonna file with this too. So it doesn't matter, and then you're gonna go in, you're gonna cap. Just like that. So now we're gonna go back, we're gonna move back to this one, and now I'm gonna show you guys how I file. So I use a 100/180 grit, and when I file the almond shape, I like to use the medium one, the 180, just because it's not that much that you have to sit here and, oh, I put my finger on it, and file. You don't want to file excessively either, so that's why I like using the 180 for this part. I'm just gonna go just like this. Like if you're shaping a nail, like if you're shaping an almond shaped nail, that's exactly how you're gonna do it. Go on the other side. They slide off a little bit. I really don't mind. I don't like to stick them just because I want the hand to last longer. You see how it's coming in? Let me move this a little more. I keep putting my finger on it. Some people don't go and file. If they're content with their almond, they won't go and file. I like to file just because I like it to have that nice crisp line, so I go and I file. And there we go. Go and perfect it. Do it however you want. There we go. There you have it. Has this nice height there for whatever it is, if you're gonna encapsulate or if you're just gonna do a regular French like the one we just did. Just on the other side as well. So yeah, I just slip them on and off just because it's better. And there you go. There you have it. So now we're gonna go back to this one. Hopefully it's dry. And it's not. Let it dry a little bit more, and once it dries, we'll be right back. Alright, so until we wait, so until that dries, I wanted to come back and show you guys how I encapsulate with a smile line. So basically what you have to do is you have to work with thin layers, because then you're going to go and cap that with clear. So I'm just using a little mixture from a set that I did recently, and you're just going to do this. Just like so. I have some foil here that I'm going to grab and try to put in certain places here. Just like that. Take that gold one. Just like that. You just gotta work in really, really small layers. You cannot use a lot, because then you have to go in with the clear and cap that. So then you're just gonna have a mountain of product that you're just gonna have to sit here and file down. So see, you can still see the height of the almond there. Alright, so the other one should be dry now. I'm going to put a little bit of clear just so I can make sure that those foils are on there and won't move when it's time to cap. Alright, so now we're going to let it dry. Move the finger to the side. And now we're going to work on this finger. And if you're working with a good product, it don't matter if you don't cap that. Your product won't come off. So I'm still working with the 180 side, just because I don't want to file excessively. And obviously the 100 is more grittier, so I rather work in small sections and perfect it as I go. And you can already see that line coming in. It needs a little bit more filing, but now I'm switching over to the 100 side. And usually this is where I go to try and make it sharper. But I try not to use this side for too long, just because I don't want to take chunks off the acrylic, because remember, it was not capped. So it don't matter how good your product is, sometimes you can still remove that acrylic off. So I don't try to stay so long using the 100 grit side. I don't mind using a file, but you can also use your e-file for this. I just rather do the hand because I have more control of it. So and I just go back and forth with the 100 grit and the 180. Back and forth, back and forth. This is the way I do it. This is not the way to do it. This is just the way I do it, and this is the way that it works for me. So sorry, with this fingernail just popping off this hand. I just don't want to glue it. Do you see that? Oh, it's coming in really nice. Look at that. I love these. I swear, these are still one of my favorite techniques. It's a oldie, but a goodie. Look at that. See? Alright, so basically now what I do is I take like a spongy file and I just go over it just to try, and then it's up to you. If you want to keep it like this, you can keep it like this, or you could cap it. That's up to you. But really, I don't see the reason or why you should cap it, because it's already done, so you shouldn't have to cap it. So I would leave it like that and look at it. You see? Let's wipe it so you guys can see. Look at that. See? And there you have it. You can cap it if you like, if you feel that it doesn't have, if you feel like your nail, you haven't built it completely, you want to add more to it, or build your apex, well, you can go and do that, depending on yours and your client's preference. But that's how it looks. Alright, so now we're going to move on. We're going to do the capping on this one. Let's take this out the way. So sometimes when I do this, I like to pass the brush right on top of it, just because I don't want that dust to stay there. So now I go and I cap. So another thing, when I cap, I try to have my bead wet enough. Not wet, too wet, but wet enough. And I start right there. And I let gravity do its work. And sometimes I just take my brush and start taking product towards the top. I just like working like this with the cap because the acrylic goes wherever it's needed. This foil was a little thick there, but it's okay. So look, even though it was wet, I was still able to control it and mold it. And one thing with encapsulations is that you need to make sure that you are capping all of that in there, because once you start filing, you can file all of that glitter or whatever it was that you cap the nail with. So you got to make sure you cover all of that. Just like here, that foil was a little bumpy. Look at that. So as you can see, I'm missing a little bit right there. I'll wait for it to take its consistency on the brush. And I place it. When you wait for the acrylic to take its consistency on the brush, you're gonna have better results on it not sliding all over your nail and like flooding all over that nail and just having all that acrylic running all over the place. But then again, that's what works for me. So there we go. I feel like I'm gonna need a little bit more on this tip right here because of the foil, since it was a little bunched up right there. And probably when I file we're gonna take a piece of it, but that's okay. I don't want to make the nail that thick because I don't want to file that much. Always clean your side walls because you want to keep that shape. There we go. Now we're going to wait till it dries up and we'll be back to shape it. Alright guys, so here goes the finished product. That's how it looks, and this is how the encapsulated one looks. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.